Let's find out when the troops will arrive in parts of Cape Town today. For more, we can speak to Siphiwe Dlamini, I should say, from the South African National Defence Force. He joins us by phone this afternoon. A very good afternoon to you, Mr. Dlamini, and thank you for your time. So we've seen the arrival of that large police contingent in parts of Cape Town today. Where are members of the SANDF?
The process of, first and foremost, let me thank you for having me and indicate to you that the deployment of the South African National Defence Force takes a different process because we are guided by the Constitution and the Defence Act, and it dictates to the South African National Defence Force and as to how, when and where we should be used. And the person to determine that deployment is the President. There are processes that are involved there. We have to have all the deployment papers from a legal point of view ready, and from there we have to make sure that our people are orientated into the areas that they are going to. Once all that has been completed, you will then see the boots on the ground. I can safely say that the processes that I'm talking about are complete, and you will be seeing the National Defence Force pretty soon.
What is pretty soon, Siphiwe, the people of Cape Town will be wanting to know after years of suffering under the gang violence there?
Well, you see, one other thing you need to realize, we don't announce our deployment because we deploy differently. We want people to see ourselves on the ground, and that they will certainly see us on the ground. Mm-hmm. And I can assure you that the South African National Defence Force will be in Cape Town.
So once the SANDF has arrived then, Siphiwe, in Cape Town, what will be the role of the SANDF members?
Remember, we are in support of the South African Police Service. We are not there on our own accord. We are there to support the South African Police Service. And the plan of the South African Police Service will determine what is it that we shall be doing. There are protocols between ourselves and the South African Police Service which dictate that this is the kind of support they need, and this is where they need the support, and this is how the support will be unveiled as and when the deployment begins. But I must give you an example, for instance, that if we are going to move into an area X, what would normally happen? We would do what we call lockdown. We lock down that area X so that nobody comes in, nobody goes out. And police in that instance will be conducting their policing work within that lockdown area. Once we've cleaned that area, we then move to the next place. So the policing responsibility remains that of the police. We would be making sure that that place is locked down so that movement is limited. Secondly, we'll also be manning roadblocks. Those roadblocks will be manned together with the South African Police Services, because as you may know that where we are deployed, there must be police, because policing is that responsibility. That is not the Defence Force's responsibility. And therefore, wherever we are, police must be there.
All right, so one of the fears around the deployment of the military to the Cape, at least from some of the social justice groups, has been about how your members, they say, are trained to operate in war zones, and there's a fear that once you are on the streets of Cape Town, there might be an escalation in some of the violence there. Should we anticipate instances where the SANDF will confront some of the gangs directly?
There's already been violence. People's lives have been lost, 13 families. And I think those people that speak around those issues should actually go and see the pain those families have gone through. Violence is there. There's no way the SANDF is going to. In fact, we are there to curb that violence as the South African National Defence Force.
But will you confront the gangs directly should such a situation arise?
Remember, this is a policing matter. We are supporting the police. Don't forget, don't lose sight of the fact that we are in support of. The police are leading in this operation. We are supporting in that respect. And that is what I'm saying to you. As the police do their job, we would have locked and cordoned off the areas where the police will be doing their operations.
Okay, let's talk about numbers. Are you able to give detail as to how many people you deploy?
No, we don't give numbers. Precisely because you start giving numbers, you start giving material, equipment. What are you saying to the public? What are you saying to the people that we want to deal with? they're armed like this, they've got these numbers, they'll be doing. South African National Defence Force doesn't do that.
Are you able to speak on a duration for the operation at least?
Oh yes, that one I can speak to because it's public knowledge. Because as when the deployment papers are completed, they stipulate that this is the duration of the operation, and it will be about 3 months. But it may not even last but 3 months. But at least we know that we can be in operation for 3 months. It could be 3 weeks, it could be 5 weeks, or even less.
And as you prepare to send your members into these areas, Siphiwe, what is your one appeal as the SANDF going into what could be a 3-month-long operation?
Come again, Miguel, I missed that.
All right, my question to you was, as you prepare to deploy your members to those parts of Cape Town, what would be the one appeal that you make to people in the country and indeed in the affected areas as you prepare for this operation?
Well, I'm happy to say to you, Tembegile, that this call did not come from anybody else but the people of the Western Cape, the people that are affected by this gang violence, the people that are affected by this criminality, the people that are affected by people that are running amok, shooting at people at random. That call came from. So if they can give the opportunity for the South African National Defence Force in support of the police to do their job with their assistance, that would be for us a plus, because we are there to work with people in this regard.